republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again into Saturday evening, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And with me tonight is Mr. Tarver, and Mr. Mark is back.
I'm back.
Mark is back. He got all his Christmas shopping done today.
Yep, and it was a zoo.
He spent the entire day at Bath & Body Works.
Bed, Bath & Beyond.
Whatever.
And I did find out what the Beyond is.
Whoa.
It's in their back room.
It's not for married men, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, you guys can't. Well, Tarver can.
So did you buy me anything good?
No.
Good, because I didn't.
Actually, I got the most of my shopping done at the bank.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite store.
I pretty much, but I mean, it cost me everything. I just went to the ATM and just started handing out. That's pretty much what everybody's getting is cash for Christmas. So
the bank is my favorite store
because I don't really know what to get anybody. So.
Okay, how you been doing, Mr. Tarver?
I've been working hard, man. Busy schedule.
So that's kind of what I heard.
Busy schedule, man.
Working hard, making those holiday dollars.
He works hard for the money.
Killing me.
So hard for the money.
Slave drivers.
Every time we do this, I come up with a new button. I've been working hard. I need to hit the button. She works hard. I'm gonna bust into song here. Pretty soon.
Are you gonna? Oh, okay. Not now.
Sounds like a little eggnog's been going around.
Little eggnog, not much.
All right.
We're just roasting chestnuts over an open fire. Just that kind of.
No one's roasting my nuts. Hey,
I don't know. Do people even do that anymore? I don't even know.
I never have.
Why is that a song if nobody ever does that?
Okay.
Anyway. Okay.
So you guys have been selling guns like crazy.
Yeah, it's been awesome. This is going to be the second year in a row that we're breaking 1,200 gun sales a year.
You're beating the Meridian store
by a lot.
And in case anyone important is listening, it's all because the Patriot Defense Podcast. You heard it here. We send them over there. Right? That's how it works.
Definitely helps.
That definitely helps.
Yep.
So it's been a while since I've been into the store. Mm-hmm. And you, first of all, tell me about the new guns. And we've talked about a few of them. Tell me about the new guns, maybe even that you don't have at the store that you've heard are coming out. We need an update.
There's two primary ones that are coming out. One is the Glock 44, which is based on the Glock 19 frame. It's a 22, 10 round. It's really, I think, in my opinion, it's just a training gun. That's the only thing it's good for.
Well, we talked about this last week. We want to know if it's going to function.
Right, and then if it doesn't function, then
Tarver's impressed and excited for it.
It's going to give Glock a bad name.
I'm a little disturbed right now. I just noticed everybody's face is covered but mine. Camera's pointing right at my face.
What? I'll move it.
What kind of deal is this, man?
I'll move it down. There we go.
It is, isn't it?
It is. And they're looking at everybody's face. Now, when you're looking up, you can see you. But when you start talking,
right.
I'm
right down here again.
Freaking
what's going on here, man?
Everyone likes you. You're like the star of the freaking show.
Trying to expose me, man. I've been hiding for a long time.
We're trying to expose Glock with their 22 because we know it ain't going to freaking work.
Enough of my rabbit hole. Let's get back to you.
I don't understand why Glock is getting into that whole market. They've been doing well without it. And
10
they really
rounds.
need to.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
10 rounds.
10 rounds of all
10
the
rounds.
things in a Glock 19 frame. 10 rounds. If it is a training gun, they should have made it the same amount of rounds.
Well, and it's in a double stack frame.
Right. Yeah, they could easily get away with it.
It's freaking stupid.
But then the other one, which I think is more of a, in that niche gun category where it's definitely going to be helpful, is the M&P 2.0 Shield Easy in the 9mm.
And you guys can't keep those in stock, can you?
We got them in, and they were gone within less than 24 hours.
Oh wow!
We did get some more in yesterday. So they're all the thumb safety versions, but because you can't get your hands on the ones without thumb safeties right now, everybody's.
I should have signed that endorsement deal while I had the chance.
Now, what thumb safety did they have? The Shield safety or the M&P safety?
So So they have the grip safety on them because they're the easy model,
right?
But they also have the manual thumb safety.
But I mean, on the Shield, it's this little tiny little thing that you got to dig for, and on
it's
the
the
M&P,
M&P.
it's a big boat paddle.
Yeah, it's the M&P.
Oh, that's garbage.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Well, and that's what happened with when the 380s came out. People started buying them with that safety and decided, ooh, we don't like that. So I don't know.
That thing is huge. You can't help but putting it on safety. Every time you get up high on the gun, you throw it on safety.
I don't know why they even, I mean, that should be like, they should, the ones with safeties, that should be a special order. They should just come out with no safety. They've already got the grip safety. If you want a safety, that's a special order.
But there's a lot of people out there that do want that. I don't know. It's just peace of mind for them, I guess.
It's a bad safety.
You know, I don't train with the safety. I don't want safeties on any of my guns as far as a manual safety. Anyway.
Right.
So, but I understand if people do want that, if it's a mental thing for them, you know, I'm in it to sell the guns, not to judge people, I guess. So
if it's the same as the M&P, though, you can take it off, and for like $1.50 a piece, they have little plastic inserts that fill the holes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
If you buy it, it's an option to take it off instead of not buying it, and you don't have the option.
So some of the other newer guns,
safety is huge.
Newer guns that come out would be like the Taurus G3, which is in my opinion, a huge improvement over the G2.
It actually is not. It's a good little gun. I went in and handled it, and it's not as bad as that G2C or whatever.
The G2Cs.
The G3s. It's not horrible.
Okay, hold up. Fill me in. What's G3?
So the G3 is essentially a full-size frame.
Full-size G2 is what it is.
It comes with a 17 round and a 15 round.
Okay.
And it's actually a little bit better. It's got a little bit better trigger.
Yeah, the trigger's definitely better. They don't have that midpoint in the trigger like the G2s do, where you have that.
Where you kind of feels like you're
click or something.
You're like pulling over a freaking boulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did improve the trigger. They took away some things though. They took away the loaded chamber indicator, which is, if you don't know if your gun's loaded, then you
pull the trigger.
You don't really need that.
No, you got what is it? The loaded check. That's what they called it. Remember that?
Like a press check?
A press check where you grab the front and kind of press it.
No, the guy at the range, never mind. Went too far. Where he just, that was part of his safety. Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Okay, took too long, man.
I know. Dude, I'm freaking slow.
Sorry.
My world has slowed way down, dude. I forget what day. I woke up the other day and I was like,
you know what I think that is?
Friday?
I think it's because you've been putting too much brake fluid in your vegetable diet.
My vegetable diet? You don't like my vegetable diet?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a big fan, but
most people aren't. So have you heard anything about the new, I think it was SIG's coming out with the new bolt action rifle.
Hold on one second. What's the price on that G3?
Yeah.
G3 right now, normal retail price would be $249.99.
Jeez.
Is what we're selling it for. Right now, we do have one color that's on sale for $229.99. So
they're colored.
Yeah, they're colored.
What color
they're colored just like the G2s are. So
it's not that bad of a firearm.
I
really.
think, and I've been reading reviews on it. It's only been out like 2 months.
With a pink handgun.
I've seen a lot of people, and I'm not totally getting behind them 100%, but I've seen a lot of people come into class and they bring those G2Cs, and it's not horrible either, really. I mean, people shoot those pretty well for the money. I think you're getting a pretty decent gun.
They don't jam up that often. I mean, the trigger's crap, but
I love it. They didn't jam up that often.
Well, I mean, it's
for that price.
like some of the other guns. People show up with a Ruger, thinking, "Oh, it's a Ruger. It's not going to have any problems." That's the one that has the most problems, or something.
Yeah.
But the guy with the G2's running the whole class.
So speaking of Ruger, there's a guy that showed up in my class a couple of weeks ago with he was shooting. It was a 40. No. It was a 9, I believe. It was a 9, but it was the Ruger American. Mm-hmm. Have you guys sold many of those?
No. And the funny thing with that is it took like 2 years for Ruger to design that gun.
Right.
And it's just like any other.
It looks like
gun on the market.
It does, but it didn't. I didn't shoot it. I pulled the trigger on it and held it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it performed okay. It didn't feel bad. I was kind of surprised with the first one. It's the first Tarver. It's a glowing endorsement.
They've got Novak sights, and they've got some little things here and there, and it's got like a one-piece deal like the P320 does, where you can take the whole trigger out. But it's I don't know. Some of those aren't it's just not that great to me. If they spent that much time developing it, I really expected more from
Make it right.
Yeah.
So let me talk about this. This is my new segment. Probably this is the only time you ever freaking hear it. And it's Todd's crappy gun pick of the week.
All right, let's go.
I've heard lots about it. We've discussed it. I was excited to finally show up and get my hands on it. Freaking Hellcat is a piece of garbage. That Hellcat, I mean, I expected so much more from Springfield Armory. I mean, even their XDSs weren't that bad.
Well, see, this is essentially an XD, the Hellcat.
It's stupid.
They've just stripped parts and stuff off.
The trigger is like 48 pounds, and it's got like ergonomically it just sucks.
So they've had some
I'd rather hold a G19.
They have the OSP edition, which is the Octopix Ready.
I don't know.
Some of those haven't. They came out and they tightened the screws down so much on the.
Can't get them out.
They can't get them out, so you can't put optics on them because your screws are.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you, Springfield Armory did everyone a favor by tightening those things down. You can't put the optic on there because no one needs a freaking red dot
on a concealed carry gun.
No, they don't. And you're definitely not going to compete with the freaking Hellcat.
No, it's not a competition gun.
But I was not impressed with that gun. In fact, you had me hold that. Mm-hmm. And after I was just disgruntled with that, disgusted with it, you gave me the 365 XL.
Yep.
And that one actually feels pretty damn good.
That's the XL. I mean, what about just the 365?
Well, the XL is just a longer barrel with the same grip.
Longer slide, longer barrel, and then it's a 12 round, so it's a little longer grip.
But
too.
Just holding it, period, it was more rounded. It was more comfortable to hold.
Gun. It's a little more contoured.
Yeah, but the Hellcat is just boxy. It's freaking horrible.
So you like the 365 now? I do, but you like the 365 better than the Hellcat.
I do. And now I didn't excuse me. I didn't actually shoot the Hellcat. I've shot the 365 before.
They're both small.
Philip says he hates the grip on the Hellcat. Also,
no, the grip on the Hellcat is just crap.
Yeah.
But it's
now the texturing on it, I will give them is pretty good.
It's pretty neat.
The texturing is like I don't know. It has like a flat spots, and then they've got sharp points. So the tighter you grip that, the more. It digs
but
in.
you've got to have.
In theory, that sounds good, but I'd need a bigger gun.
You can't just have the texture. You got to have the actual grip too, because they're the ones that came out with the freaking grip zone. What the hell happened to grip zone?
Well, they took it away because everybody was making fun of it.
Well, yeah, but everything else is crap without it.
Yeah. Now the other one that you held,
I was not impressed. That was another.
It's another 365, and it was that SAS model.
I'm obviously not going to get that interview with Rob Binkus.
No.
Actually,
so that SAS model,
is
the one without the sights on it. It's internal, like it's an integrated sight into the slide.
Right, and it was okay. You know, we've talked about the sights. Those sights are freaking waste. Those it glows up really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty cool.
It's a little difficult for me to pick up though, like because maybe it's just I'm used to looking for a sight on top of the slide.
But I still stand behind my statement of you could buy one, take the sights off, put a little dot of nail polish on the back of that freaking slide, and it's the same exact thing. There is no difference. Mm-hmm. There's no difference. You're looking at the back of the freaking slide. That's all you're doing. You don't even have to go that far. It's point shooting. Take the sights off. Yeah. Take the sights off. Save yourself. What's the price difference?
You got me.
$70, $80, let's say $100. Save yourself $100. But I do want to. Josh sent me this thing, and it wasn't anything I could that I could print out. But it says, I'm going to read this, okay?
Okay.
Is Rob Pinkus, and I think he's still sponsored by Springfield Armory. I mean, he's one-on-one with them, I think. He goes, he reviews the Hellcat. He goes, finally got to spend some time with the Hellcat. It feels small, carries well, and shoots well enough. I honestly didn't like it as much as the 4-inch XDS or the SIG 365 or my current carry, the Glock 43L. Trigger was...
What's a 43L?
Long slide. I think he switches stuff around.
Oh,
because you can take one slide and.
I was gonna say there's a 48, which is like a.
I think.
Anyway, go ahead.
But anyhow, he says the trigger was and it's kind of snappy. The sights leave a lot to be desired as well. Very narrow rear notch for the size of the front sight. So the dude gets paid by Springfield Armory or sponsored by them, and he hates the damn Hellcat too. That says a lot right there.
Yeah.
Still waiting on his gun.
I'm still waiting on his gun. Maybe he's setting the table for
he's sabotaging everything.
Now, so speaking of guns, while we're on that topic,
right?
I smell a hint of the Hoppy's number 9 solvent. Did you clean a gun?
I cleaned.
If people were here, you could smell it. It's got that nice, you all know what it smells like.
I dabbed a little behind my ears too.
Yeah. Oh man.
Turns the wife on.
Yep. Well, get ready for tonight. I'm just telling you.
That's right. She comes up. She's gonna snuggle up to me. You've been cleaning guns again, haven't you?
So this is like,
good, man. When's the last time you cleaned one?
So this is what your yearly cleaning, or
see?
Yeah, actually, I clean them in the wintertime. So I was out. I've been putting some doing some little range time, doing some drills and some stuff. I had a little free time on my hands.
Did you do a proper cleaning, or did you just?
No, I did a proper cleaning.
Did you just field strip it and just?
Well, I did. I mean, I did. Yeah, field strip. I took the barrel and the spring out. What else am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to tear the whole thing freaking apart?
Clean the trigger assembly.
I ain't getting that shit put back together. I haven't done that on any of my guns. Nothing. I'm never getting it back together then. I gotta take that pin out. And, anyhow, I cleaned it. It was freaking dirty. In fact, there were spots I had to take a little. Well, this is my gun cleaning secret. Okay, if you're in a hurry and that feed ramp, you don't want to soak that thing because it's a little dirty, and you don't have time. Maybe your Netflix movie is running out or something. So I've got a little razor blade. And you can actually just chip off that freaking garbage. It's great. Works quick.
Okay, like a single edge razor blade.
Yeah, just sit there and it's a long one, like in the little like a box cutter.
Oh,
and you just sit there and just.
Surprised you don't get like an ultrasonic toothbrush or something and try it out.
That'd cost money.
Okay,
but see, a little razor blade cleans that right up. Right up. Did you see the picture of my barrel?
Yeah, I did actually.
It's freaking clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish I had the button right now because I'd be like, "How dare you."
How dare you?
Oh, no. Don't encourage it.
Oh, that's not the last time you're going to hear that.
You cleaned your gun?
I did. I cleaned.
How dare you?
I got enough that I can clean one every weekend until spring.
All right. Well, that's good on that, I guess.
It's a step in the right direction.
Step in the right direction.
Step in the right direction.
Definitely.
So,
what's the deal with this SIG bolt action?
Oh, the bolt. Yeah, SIG has
SIG bolt action.
the bolt action rifle. I saw a picture of it.
I saw a picture of it too. That's about all I know.
Okay,
So,
well, there we go.
Yeah, that's about all I know.
So I saw, I've, SHOT Show's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rant today.
Okay.
But I saw a picture on Facebook about how I need to be able to get invited to SHOT Show. I need to find a copy machine. I need to take my shirt off. And I need to photocopy myself.
Don't do it, bro.
Don't do it.
You mean Photoshop yourself?
Photocopy myself.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It showed how all the gun bunnies were going to make it to SHOT Show.
Oh, I gotcha.
Gotcha. Oh, flexy flex.
Gotcha.
Give it a shot, man.
You look embarrassed for me, Tarver.
Yeah, what you should do is photocopy it, sign it, and post it up to your Facebook.
There you go. A
Hey,
signed picture of you.
I want to throw this out. I want to thank all whoever's listening, okay? The listeners, the subscribers, the people on Facebook, the people on Instagram, or they call it Instagram. Does it matter?
Are you trying to be like hip and with the times?
I am
calling it.
But no, I've had more people sign up for my Facebook or like my Facebook page and find me and follow me on Instagram this week. It's been absolutely insane. And they're really coming together on my posts, and they're commenting, and there's just a lot of interaction. It's been, I don't know what has prompted it all. Maybe I've just got cool all of a sudden.
'Tis the season.
'Tis the season, but I like it. Keep it up.
It's cold. Nobody's leaving the house.
Nope.
Let's find some crap to listen to.
No, nobody's. Jeez. Oh, anyhow, I'll take it. I'll take it as long. What are you doing?
I don't know. I accidentally hit the button.
Just hit something. It'll go away. There you go.
Okay.
We're
back.
I'll keep it up as long as I can get it. So I'm okay with that. What about you, Mr. Tarver? You been up to anything else?
I've been working, man. Busy.
Buying guns?
Hectic schedule. Actually, I've been looking. I don't know. I'm looking at technology stuff. I'm looking at a roadcaster. I'm looking at the what do you call it?
The microphone.
No. The VR helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Good God, those things are backward.
You gonna do virtual reality?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
I got one to play with.
It's kind of trippy. I mean, I just did the one on the PlayStation deal, but you kind of lose your balance if you're not.
Yeah, you got to be.
It's weird. I mean,
first time somebody puts it on, you should sit down. But yeah, I'm just
definitely.
looking at. I don't know. I've been in a shopping mood, but I can't find a firearm that I want. So I'm like, I feel like I need to buy something.
Go buy that Hellcat.
No.
Yeah.
It's too small.
Go buy a G3.
I might buy a G3.
Buy it. I want to shoot it.
Okay.
So I want to go back to the Shield Easy 9 really quick.
Right.
So on that, it is a little bit bigger, a little wider than the 380 is.
Right. The slide's still easy.
The slide's still pretty easy. And I'm sure this is probably just because it was brand new out of the box, but it definitely needed oil because it was pretty gritty pulling that slide back versus the ones that are.
Did you spit in it or something?
No,
move it up, man.
I think the 380s are so much smoother just because they've been worked. They were sitting in the case for a while, so we've been messing with them. But I think the 9, is definitely needed because everybody that looked at the 380 asked if it came in a 9.
But you guys have been selling the crap out of them anyway. So
yeah. And I still think the 380 is a great option. A lot of people probably disagree with me as far as the caliber, but I think the 380 I think is still easier than the 9 is. So,
but they're an 8+1.
Right. Yeah. It's still the same capacity.
Oh man.
I know they're a little late. I mean, but they do have Smith & Wesson does have the compact in a double stack.
The subcompact.
Subcompact.
Like 12,
yeah. So
12
they are
yep.
kind of there. I mean,
they're kind of they have a one in the category with the SIG 365 and the Hellcat. The subcompact 3.6 inch. Yeah.
Right. Which Canic did you get out for me?
The TP9 SFX.
Do you have that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the trigger's still not as good as
we got a really good deal on those.
Yeah, but you really you cutting hairs there. I mean, it's there.
I'm a trigger snob.
Yeah, but the worst Canic has a better trigger than almost anything on the market.
Yeah.
So that's the thing though, is that we did get an excellent deal on those SFX models. So if anybody's looking at one, we got them in a great deal. So the price just turns around and the customer gets them for a great deal.
But you got to be careful with Tarver though when he recommends a gun, because I mean, do y'all remember this?
I was talking about the High Point with its simplicity and elegance, and everybody laughed at me for that. But in a way, it works. It does work, man.
It works.
It does work.
That damn thing works forever.
Have boat anchor, works for everything.
Now, what's the price on this? Can you say
on the
SFX?
What was it? $479.99.
Okay.
So, not a bad price for a gun like that, and you get a lot of stuff with it. I mean, it's optics ready. It's got all the base plates and everything.
Because that's what I look for.
It's got a nice
optics ready
holster.
gun.
It even has a little charging handle to screw into the side of the base, the optics plate.
Make you feel like you got a bolt action.
So you got there's a lot of different stuff in there, and there's 20 round magazines. I mean, there's a lot of gun there. So.
Well, we've had some, I'm trying to figure, let's start with the small news stories. We'll get into the big stuff.
Okay. What are the small news stories?
Well, we got that FedEx dude, right?
My hero.
We got the FedEx guy. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
Oh, you got a sound.
I've got a freaking, I'm a professional now. I hit record
today
and everything.
Amateur hour.
The FedEx driver robbed and shot while delivering packages in a Pennsylvania neighborhood. This residential street turning into the scene of the shootout last night. The armed robber versus the armed FedEx driver, and the robbery suspect is now dead.
We were in the house, and all of a sudden we just heard pop, pop, pop. It was like 7 gunshots.
Police say after the FedEx driver dropped off a delivery, the robber walked up with a gun. Bullets started flying. The FedEx driver was wounded but survived. The robber died after being shot multiple times. Police say the FedEx driver is cooperating with police. The entire shootout, though, was caught on home surveillance video. Nice. They are not releasing that so far.
Good for this FedEx driver. And I think what happened was he went, he thought he was going to get robbed. He had his gun with him, and I think he had a flashback to his buddy, the UPS man,
Miami PD.
He said, I got to take care of this myself. Freaking law enforcement's going to show up and shoot me if I don't. I think that replayed through his head, and good for him. Now the guy probably has lost his job right before Christmas, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
he was there to take care of business.
Yeah, I'd rather lose my job.
And we heard
That's
it.
right.
Pop, pop, pop.
Well,
you like popcorn, do you?
Pop,
pop, pop, pop, pop, pop.
Where was this at? Where would that happen at?
I don't even know.
That's crazy.
But
I wonder if it was Florida.
Well, you probably put good money on it that it was.
You notice how we haven't heard anything. Not that we're going to have results right now, but Florida, that whole Florida thing just died. It just died. There's nothing.
No, you ain't going to hear nothing. You know what? This guy, though, just saved countless FedEx drivers' lives.
He saved Christmas.
He did. Yeah. Because now people are like,
FedEx guys don't mess around.
Let's go get the UPS guy. Don't mess with the FedEx. He's under a lot of stress. He will kill you.
It's getting real close to Christmas, man.
Kill you at Christmas.
That dude just got done with a 36-hour shift. He wasn't messing around.
No.
It is Christmas, and lots of stuff's going down, right? Lots of people out. You were in town today. Is a freaking nightmare, right?
It was a nightmare. I definitely was packing today, so.
Casey had to shoot someone for that.
It's a Black Friday deal. Get away, Wade.
It's the last one on the shelf. Hey, that's mine.
Hey, Tyler.
It is
Tyler
rough
joined
out
us.
there, man.
Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
Arlington, Texas. A Costco shopper opens fire on two robbers trying to break into his car. Okay. It says, let's see. Police said one of the suspects pulled out a weapon believed to be a gun. When the victim pulled out a handgun he was legally carrying and shot some rounds toward the suspect's vehicle.
Well, hold up.
Yeah.
So the good guy, what did they were trying to carjack him. That's what you said, right?
Well, I think he was walking up and pulled out a weapon. Let me read back here. Officer said it appeared that two men were breaking into a pickup truck when the owner and his friend came out of the store and confronted the suspects.
Okay.
Get away from my freaking truck.
And it appeared that they had
they believed.
Okay, yeah. You got to put that in.
He thought he might have had a gun. So
I swore it was a gun.
The victim pulled out
a cell phone. I don't remember.
Handgun, and he was legally carrying and shot some rounds toward the suspect's vehicle.
Okay.
The shooter was legally carrying.
So the guy was already running away. He was already back in his vehicle.
That's what it says. But this
just let her rip, Tater Chip.
This is freaking Texas too, where you can shoot to protect your property in Texas.
That's Arlington though.
It says the shooter was legally carrying, so there are no issues, and there will be no charges filed against him.
Wow.
Sweet.
Well, got away with that one.
The shooter also claims the would-be robbers pointed a firearm at him, which prompted him to draw his weapon and fire back.
Oh, so they never captured the robbers.
I know.
Yeah, but they had a Uzi, man. They had M60s pointing at me. What was I supposed to do? Hell yeah.
So the question is, if you came out of a store and saw someone trying to break into your car, how would you proceed? If it's Idaho... I don't think I'd be flinging bullets at the retreating car, the retreating bad guy.
No, I don't think I would.
If I came and saw someone breaking into my car and I said something to them, I turned to run, guess what? See ya, bye. And I'm going to probably call law enforcement, that kind of thing. I'm not going to chase them down with a gun. I do not condone this at all.
Try and get their plate. Try and get a picture.
Yeah, I do not condone this at all because 9 times out of 10, well, I know in Idaho, it's if you do shoot, it has to be because there's a threat, and you have to stop shooting when the threat is over. And if the person has seen you, you've said something, they've turned around, they're leaving, guess what? There is no longer a threat. To be honest with you, even in Texas, I'm not even sure how that guy got off. I mean...
Depends on who you know.
It must be. So...
That's a hell of a story.
It is.
That's Costco. Now, you got a lot of these places that have cameras all throughout the store, man. They can tell what you're looking at. They can tell, he stopped. He looked twice at the peanut butter. Let's get him. He's after the peanut butter. They know what you're doing. But a lot of them don't have a lot of stuff in their parking lots.
Well, there's a lot of stores. Like I know one in particular that, like, if you're writing out a check, the camera's watching what you're writing on the check.
Sportsman's Warehouse has a good enough camera. I was told by law enforcement they have a good enough camera on the outside of their building.
Yep.
They can zoom in and see your face and ID you at Pillar Falls down in the canyon.
Good grief.
And that's actually up there a little ways.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it because there are people that do it, but you know, there was a couple times where people would go and jump off the bridge, you know, to end their life or whatever. Not condoning that at all by any means, but there's times that dispatch would call Sportsman's Warehouse and ask them to, you know, move the camera over to the bridge to see if there was an actual individual there.
Right.
And of course they would do it. They would, you know, zoom in and tell the dispatcher what's going on.
What they're wearing, what's it look like they're doing.
It's a mess.
So definitely camera systems do help people. So
there you go.
Well,
but
some of these big box stores now, I don't recall. Do a lot of them have? Not that you would know, but maybe you've seen. Do they cover their parking lots pretty well?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think for insurance purposes, a lot of them do have, like, I know we have cameras pointed at the parking lot in case any accidents or anything go on there. It's more of an insurance thing, I think, than anything. But
help kind of protect your customers a little bit too.
Yep.
This kind of reminds me, years ago when I first got married, so I was like 25 years ago, I was working at Shopko, and I worked in the toys and sporting goods sections, and I'd always help out loss prevention.
Right.
And they'd call, and we'd have to go and follow people and tell them what they're doing, you know. And we followed it. They yelled. They said they needed some help. They radioed me, so I went and helped. And there was this guy that was headed out the doors, and they were kind of serious to a certain extent about their loss prevention.
Yeah. I know a couple places around here, they will fight you in the aisle.
And, you know, meanwhile, this is 25 years ago, so what was I getting paid, like $6 an hour or something? And, which I like doing it. But we followed this guy out, and he was just walking, this kid was just walking like nonchalantly. Wasn't running, wasn't anything. I was like, something kind of, it's like, this ain't right, man. And me and this other lady went running up there, and we each got her on the side of him, and he reaches in his pocket, and he pulls out this freaking butcher knife. It's about this long.
Whoa. Wow.
And I'm like, whoa, I'm out.
Yeah.
And she kind of looked at me, she's like, grab him. I'm like, no.
Merry Christmas.
I'm not getting stabbed.
No, there's no,
I'm not getting stabbed.
Don't put yourself in that position.
This is kind of off topic. We had another guy in there that stole a ring, and they caught him, and they took him back to the room, and we're all standing back there in the room. And as soon as no one was, they were like, okay, we got you on camera. You took this ring out of the box, and when the employee turned her back, where is it? Give it to us. And he waited till everyone was kind of like away from him just a little bit. Freaking pulled it out of his pocket and swallowed that son of a gun.
Oh, wow.
It was freaking awesome.
But they arrested him.
Maybe he was gonna propose to his boyfriend in jail.
He's going to send him to the hospital.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, it was so bad in California for Walmarts that it happened so much that's where they started hitting those emergency exits, but delay opening. You hit it, alarm goes off, you got to sit there for 30 seconds, and then the door opens.
Wow.
They were hitting them. Man, they were killing them.
Oh, man. What story you got over there, Mr. Mark?
I've got this one about since I deal with this quite a bit with the NICS background check system.
Yes, sir.
So Gun Owners of America have uncovered a form that the FBI uses that they can permanently add themselves to the prohibited persons list on the NICS check system. So what that basically means is that someone can voluntarily waive their Second Amendment rights. And they kind of quote voluntarily on this story because essentially they could turn around and use this against, for example, like veterans at the VA hospital where they have to sign a whole bunch of papers and stuff like that. They could sneak this in, and if somebody's not reading what they're signing, they just gave away their Second Amendment right.
And I guarantee you they'll never get those rights back.
You'll never get it back. So I just happened to notice that this is in Virginia.
You go figure. So, and so people may be going, well, that's a stretch. You're not going to have someone sign. It's a freaking secret document that was leaked. If it's secret for a reason, no one knows about it. I guarantee you a number of people have signed that.
Yeah. And then, you get somebody coming in to buy a gun, and then they're like, well, why can't I get approved or something?
Right.
I get asked that a lot, and they think it's us that's doing it. It has nothing to do with D&B Supply or any other company out there.
You're not just messing with them. You're not just messing with them.
We're not like messing with people. We have to run it through this NICS background check system.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with us. Our hands are tied. So if you want to know what's going on, get a hold of them.
Now that is just for the NICS background check.
Yeah. Well, pretty much for this one, yes.
I'd imagine I could see them working that into anything. I'd imagine if you were like mentally unstable or you didn't feel right and you checked yourself, some people will check themselves into hospital for a week. I could almost see them slipping that in there for people to sign.
Guarantee you judges are going to use that. So we can let you go with probation, but you got to sign this.
You got to sign this.
You're signing your papers for your mortgage. Or
you're going to do 6 months.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you can't buy a gun.
Yeah, we'll cut you loose, but you got to sign this paper. Guaranteed that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming straight from the court.
I can see that being used for
everything.
All kinds of stuff.
Everything.
You want to take your kid home because your kid's going to die, and you want to take your kid home and treat him medically. Yourself at home, sign this freaking paper.
Yeah,
they're gonna have people over a barrel with that thing.
Now, granted, criminals, they're not going to go through this background check system anyway, and they're going to get the gun regardless. So
it doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. You should not. This should not even be a thing. Honestly.
No. Well, after Christmas, since it wants one of the newer guns to come out, when Christmas is over, when Christmas is over, they're going to be able to, bad guys are going to be able to go hit up dumpsters and stuff, and they're going to be able to come up with their own freaking pile of Hellcats. Because those things are trash.
Well, it was like, I'm giving an example again, but a certain place in town a long time ago would sell certain guns. You'd go in looking for a Glock, and they'd sell you something else.
A certain place.
Right around tax time, everybody walking in looking to buy a handgun, and they'd walk out with the gun that they didn't want.
$1,500 1911.
Well, it wasn't quite.
We don't have a Glock, but
it was more like a Springfield XD. But because the guys at the counter were getting kickbacks.
Yeah.
On these guns, so they'd sell the heck out of them.
I think I may have bought a Springfield XD from them, to be honest with you.
But then it's funny because a couple months go by, everybody's regretting that they bought a gun with their tax returns.
We got all these damn XDs.
And what do you see in the paper? XDs all over the place. Like that very summer, next thing you know, there's guns for sale. So do your research and buy the right gun.
Do it again with the freaking Hellcat. Okay, what do you got over there, sir?
I got all kinds of stuff, man. I got let's see. All this is gun grab. We got a police shooting story and a couple of gun grab stories.
Okay. We like them all.
We're going to do the Kentucky one because we've been talking about Virginia, and actually, if you people in Georgia need to watch yourself, you have a Senate bill. I got to look it up now. What is it?
Oh, I didn't get that one printed off. Dang it.
Well, I haven't seen a story on it. It's just a bill that's been introduced in Georgia. It's Senate Bill 281. If you're in Georgia, look up SB 281 Georgia, and that's what they're pushing in Georgia. It's going to outlaw all semi-automatic firearms, suppressors, pretty much everything. And right now it's just been introduced, but these guys, for some strange reason, they think they got something, and they're going for it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not trying to jump in. Wake up, Georgia. I sent this to, as soon as I got this, I sent it to a guy that I know. He's just on Facebook. A guy that I know in Georgia, and he's like, what? Not with the governor that we have. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of black and white. It's right here. They're not going to do that here. I'm like,
They were a few thousand votes away from having Stacey Abrams as their governor.
Yeah.
Georgia's going blue.
Yeah.
All right. We're the whole country. Get what you want while you can. Okay. Here's a story. Kentucky Democrats filed gun control bills for their newly elected Democrat governor to sign. In eager anticipation of his installation in the upcoming legislative session, Democrats in Kentucky have pre-filled several anti-gun bills. The bills include a ban on semi-automatic weapons, high-capacity magazines, standard capacity. The bill also includes restrictions on gun storage, the passage of universal background checks, and worst of all, the repeal of Kentucky's new constitutional carry. This law was only passed and signed by Matt Bevin in 2018.
It's freaking Washington State all over again.
They're going for everything. Now,
That's
this
exactly
is Kentucky.
what it is.
Georgia, look up SB 281. They're going for the exact same thing. They're going for all of it. And then we got Virginia doing the same thing. Everybody's paying attention to Virginia, but it's popping off everywhere. Pennsylvania officials declare incomplete gun parts guns too. This is a little short bit.
Sort of like lowers, 80% lowers, anything like that.
State Governor Tom Wolf and Attorney General Josh Shapiro, both Democrats. What the freak, man? What are you all these Democrats y'all electing? Well, it is Pennsylvania. Unveiled a legal opinion by the letter this week that classifies incomplete gun frames and parts such as 80% receivers as firearms. So
they're going to serialize them all?
Serialize them.
I mean, they're going to put serial numbers on them? I mean, what are they going to do?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, essentially an 80% lower is just a chunk of metal.
Well, I know, but if they're going to...
You can't do anything.
If they're going to consider them, I mean, what are they...
I think they were looking at these people that were buying the mag parts.
Right.
And going outside and putting it together, so they're going to classify all parts.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that could
as firearms, which, do you need a background check to get a magazine now? I mean,
possibly if it goes through.
Go that way.
But it's not just Virginia; it's everywhere. It's everywhere. There, for some strange reason, then this whole impeachment thing. For some strange reason, Democrats are going for broke. It's it's a POFUS.
It's a POFUS.
They know it's coming. They know that shit's coming.
they want to be able to say they won before the world's destroyed by a POFUS. Oh, man.
Well, I tell you what was funny about that. First they said, it's definitely going to hit us. Sorry, there's nothing we can do. This is NASA. And then they come back after a little outrage and they said, it's not going to hit us. It's just going to knock out like a third of our satellites. I'm like, you know how close it is? Actually, they're being sued right now because people think they're in a cover-up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
NASA?
Yeah. It's like, no, it's hidden.
Oh, great. Now I got some research to do.
Now you won't be joking. You won't be joking about a POFUS no more. Okay.
So last week we talked about we kind of delved in, or last week or the week before, but law enforcement, negligent discharges.
Okay.
They call them accidental. I call them negligent.
Right.
But we got this story that popped up here. So it took place in Walmart.
Poor Walmart.
In Walmart.
What the hell? Why does everything happen in Walmart? Walmart doesn't. Come on, lead these people.
Walmart doesn't want firearms.
Walmart's going to be the new Florida man thing.
Walmart doesn't want firearms in their store anymore.
Okay.
But they were having this. Well, I'll play this.
Erupts at a North Georgia Walmart, and in this case, the sheriff's department just happened to be there. In fact, it was the sheriff's gun that went off. It all happened last night during a Shop with the Sheriff event in Pickens County. That's where we find Fox 5's Denise Dillon. And Denise, 2 people were slightly injured, I understand.
Yeah, when the bullet hit the floor, shrapnel hit a captain from the sheriff's office in the leg. I talked to him. He says he just has a small bruise. And shrapnel also hit a teenage girl. I talked to that girl's mom. She says that she was checked out, got x-rays, and is okay. But shoppers tell me it was a terrifying experience.
We just heard a loud gunshot. It's just a single gunshot.
The Walmart in Jasper was packed with shoppers Tuesday night, many of them children, taking part in the Shop with the Sheriff program. Sheriff Donnie Craig and several deputies were standing near the front of the store when the sheriff's backup weapon, a Glock 43 that looks like this one, went off. The sheriff's office posted on Facebook. At the time of the discharge, the weapon was not being handled and the weapon was secured in the waistband. Investigators are trying to figure out how the gun went off. This woman says shoppers appeared to be in shock.
Oh, you don't know, is it an active shooter? Is it, I mean, there were so many cops in there and so many people in there. Did somebody grab a gun from a cop? Like, you don't know. Your mind just kind of wanders.
Melissa Hurdle was working at a store across the street.
Oh, you just seen a bunch of people running out, and so it's like, why is everybody running out of Walmart? You know, we didn't know what was going on.
She says a lot of people in town are talking about the sheriff's gun going off.
I just feel sorry for him.
Why is that?
Because he's a really good guy, and people are making more of it than what it really should be or needs to be. And, you know, accidents happen, and that's just what it was. It was just an accident.
Investigators are still trying to determine what caused the gun to discharge. Some shoppers say it was terrifying, and they just wish someone would have told them what was going on at the time.
You had a lot of scared civilians in there that deserved an answer.
Officials with the Pickens County Sheriff's Office says that they have talked to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office to investigate what happened inside this Walmart. They'll be taking a very close look at that gun to try to figure out why it went off. Reporting live in Pickens County, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
How embarrassing!
So that the line that cracked me up was the one at the very end where she feels bad for the officer because everyone just seems to be making just a big deal about this.
I agree. Now, if my firearm goes off, look, it's an accident. Don't make a big deal out of it.
That's right.
All right, just let that crap go.
That dog will like, I shot the sheriff.
So this was an actual sheriff. It wasn't a deputy.
He didn't shoot the deputy.
No, but it was the actual sheriff that.
Yeah, no, it was.
Wow, hope it's not Alexis.
So, and I think people were trying. I think they were making a bigger deal about it, but. I do agree that maybe if they would have told people what was going on, it probably would have
But if I was in there and my freaking gun went off or something,
yeah, you just turn around and walk out casual, like no, everything's okay, folks.
You guys see that thing fall off the shelf? It made a loud bang, didn't it?
Not the way I carry.
Yeah, if your gun went off the way you carry, you wouldn't be.
Well, they never say. I mean, how it was a 43.
Yeah,
right. It was a 43. And, that doesn't say holster.
So
I'm assuming it was in a holster. He said waistband. So is there a holster involved? How did it go off?
I don't know.
There will be a holster in the report.
Do you think maybe when his shirt got in there and he just moved just right and it hit that trigger? I mean, I don't know. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Department's going to get to the bottom of it.
Man, they're going to beat that poor 43 to pieces. It's going to be unrecognizable when he comes back. Look at this raggedy thing. It's a miracle they didn't kill somebody.
Oh. And then when they say piece of shrapnel, is that the shrapnel from the bullet or is it like the concrete from the ground? I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, what did it hit?
But they were fine.
Yeah.
How does it freaking go off?
So one round went off.
One round went off.
And everybody runs.
That's what I don't understand. If I hear
one
pow,
round, I'm going to be looking around like, what was that? Something fell off a shelf or something.
I'll be looking for the sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, if the place is full of cops,
you got history.
It's shop with a cop thing or something, right? So the place is probably full of cops. There's probably several cops.
Shop
there.
with a cop or get shot with a cop. We don't know.
Yeah, well, if the sheriff was there, all his deputies, he had several people there.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't understand. Whatever. We'd get slaughtered if it was us. Ooh, we'd get hammered.
Ooh, are you kidding? There'd be a SWAT team, man.
Oh man, yeah.
We got an active shooter at Walmart. We got an active shooter. Got this crazy man with a podcast, dragging you out, doing the perp walk, screaming and hollering. I didn't do it. They'd probably be hitting you in the back of the head with a stick.
Shut up.
Oh, man. But whack. Anyhow, I'm still going to stand behind it wasn't accidental. It was negligent. I think there was something. We don't know what, but.
Wasn't a SIG.
It doesn't just go off by itself because it wasn't a SIG. So, that's that.
That is funny. That's in Georgia, too.
In Georgia. No wonder they're introducing these bills. They're freaking dangerous.
I don't understand how everybody gets freaked out over one gunshot. It's like, you hear it's a loud noise. It's like, what? I'm sure nobody knew it was, or you'd have 30 or 40 victims that are all falling on the ground and having PTSD and all that kind of stuff. That's a payday, man.
Yeah.
So nobody knew what it was. And then they're going to act like they're all traumatized.
I couldn't figure out why everyone was running out of Walmart.
Well, I mean, I've worked retail. I'll admit it. I worked at Walmart before. But I'll hear a loud bang or something, and I just assume something fell off the shelf.
You work at Walmart. Do you have PTSD now?
Well, and from a different kind of PTSD. Yeah. You get stressed just working there. Trust me.
I tell you what, I don't want to do that story. Oh, you got one. You got one left.
I got one.
We're gonna pass the buck.
I'm having throat issues here. Alabama. A woman, 19, is shot by cops who mistakenly barged into her home while trying to arrest a man who was already in jail. I think this was Breitbart. I sent this to you.
You did send it to me.
Okay.
I don't go looking for them. I just go to straight to the text message.
You can go to WALA TV, or it's probably in Breitbart. But, hold up. I got too many pages. Okay, back on target. A woman was shot by Alabama officers who mistakenly entered a home trying to arrest a wanted man who was already in jail.
How dare you?
So was this a mistake that they went into the home, or I don't know. Anyway, Ann Riley, 19, who now lives at the home on Old Muffet Road.
Old Muffet Road.
Notoriously Old Muffet Road. Everybody knows there's got all kind of shit going on in Old Muffet Road. Come on, man. They don't know that somebody's not in there that's dangerous. With her fiance, was shot several times when officers went inside the property. She underwent surgery several times. At a nearby hospital, was expected to recover. Is it understood they were looking for an uncle of her fiance who used to live there, as the house belongs to McLeod's grandmother.
The story is all kinds of confusing.
Mobile County Sheriff Sam Cochran claims that Ray Lee had a shotgun in her hand and pointed it at officers. Well,
so is it okay?
How long were they outside?
She was asleep.
Is the guy in jail, or the guy that was already in jail, was it her boyfriend?
No, that's the guy they were looking for.
The guy they were looking for is already in jail. They failed to check right before they knocked the freaking door down.
Okay, so they barged into her home and she had a shotgun.
She defended herself. She was she was sleeping in the recliner. She grabbed it. Well, I mean, what would you do?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, did they announce themselves or anything like that?
It doesn't sound like it.
The entry team was giving her orders. Drop the gun, put the gun down, drop the gun several times over a period of a few seconds.
Few seconds? You don't know who these people are. They're probably shining all kinds of freaking lights in your face. I don't know what time
it was. She pointed the gun at one of them, and 2 or 3 agents fired upon her. Wow.
I'd have figured it was Virginia trying to come for my guns.
This is jail records show he was actually arrested a day earlier on charges involving possession of drug paraphernalia and evidence tampering.
That's a failure to communicate there.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Good grief. That's a mess. And there's not enough details to that story. What time of day was it?
She was half asleep.
Did she have a shotgun? Were they staged outside? Were they sitting out there for 30 minutes knocking on the door? Police, or something? And she grabbed her shotgun? Or, did they just knock the door open middle of the night or something? I mean, shit, if you got your shotgun, grab it.
That's the thing. If they never announce themselves, I mean, they're gonna get a lot of trouble for that one.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt it as well.
Need some body cam footage, though.
So what do we got going on over in Virginia? We got any new news happening in Virginia? I mean, we've been going off on Virginia for the last couple of weeks.
Well, like I said, it's happening in a lot of places, not just Virginia. But
Virginia's a testing ground.
They're kind of pushing Georgia and Kentucky.
I mean, if you think of it historically, Virginia is not the state that you want to get going.
Right.
No, historically, there's a lot of revolution stuff going on there.
Them boys will. They will. See, the problem is something like this is there's no structure or anything, but this is how, just like Lexington and Concord, this is how it can happen. You get some gunfire taking place, and some people get shot, and it starts turning into a national thing where people start showing up and structure starts showing up, and you got serious issues. So it easily could bounce off into something. Now, there's a lot of people that are headed down there, and basically right now it seems to be just a rally, but this could easily turn into something where it could turn into a rallying cry.
Well, it could, but this is what kills me is you've got, I know where I stand, but I don't know. No, I don't know. you've got all these people, and I see it all over Facebook. I got people posting memes, people doing that, and let's go to Virginia. We're going to Virginia. I got family up there. Let's go. Or I got a place to stay, or we can all jump in my freaking van or my truck or whatever. Let's go. And people are so quick to run up there, and I guess I get it, but why aren't you so quick to run to the freaking voting booth? We have more people interested in going up there than we have showing up to freaking voting booth. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Well, go ahead. I mean, I know you and me see it a little differently.
Well, I agree.
I'm not saying don't fight back.
I agree completely. But who are you going to vote for? I mean, we got Trump right now. Trump, I love most of what Trump does, but he's got a little nanny in him. He's got a little. He's not a gun lover at all. They're now raising the smoking age from 18 to 21, so the cigarette cops will be out in full force now. Smoking 18 to 20. Come on, man. That's what we're working on. That's our agenda. I mean, is smoking bad for you? Yeah, smoking is bad for you. Should you smoke? No, you should not smoke. You should leave that alone. Why don't you leave people alone? Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
So where do you think this whole Virginia thing is headed? I mean, where do you think it's headed? Do you think? I mean, what's your, if you were to game this out? I mean, do you think they're gonna get this to pass, and then they're gonna put this in, and do you think they're gonna send National Guard out there? Do you think National Guard's actually gonna take her? I mean, how do you think this is gonna work?
I don't think National Guard's gonna do well. Here's the problem: you don't know, because it could. Everybody's gonna have to pick a side if they pass this. I mean, you're gonna have to pick a real side, and you're gonna have to decide what you're gonna do, and then people start game playing it. You know, how do you do that? People are going to become targets. People in the government, citizens are going to become targets. But I mean,
are people ready to go over there though and shoot people? I mean, here's the way I look at it, and we got to defend our rights. Don't think I don't understand that and don't believe it. But are people really ready to leave their families and go over there? Are people ready to? Can they afford to leave their jobs? Because people are just wanting to run over there.
Well, right now it's a rally. Right now it's a rally.
Right. But if it comes down to it, and you go over there, someone's going to get. You might have to shoot people. Are you ready to shoot fellow Americans? I mean, it may be National Guard may come in and actually do something, and there's going to be those people that are like, "I'm National Guard. You're going to do what I say," and they believe in what they're doing. Then you might have the person who doesn't believe in what he's doing, but he was told to do it, so he's going to do it. Are you ready to shoot that guy?
See, I really don't think that. I think National Guard, in a sense, I think they're going to have to declare martial law in order for that to happen. And I don't think they can do that based on what everything's going on.
You don't think they can what?
I don't think they can use the National Guard against its own citizens.
Yeah, they can actually, because
they would have to declare martial law then.
No, it was what you're talking is posse comitatus, and what it is National Guard is ran by the state, is used by the state, and they can actually do that. Posse comitatus, where they can't use it, actually is when you federalize it, or when it's used by or nationalize it. Excuse me, and it's used by the president. I'm not trying to say I know, but I mean I looked this up. And it's actually ran by the state, and they can do that without it being posse comitatus unless it's grabbed by the federal government and used by then that's when it's posse comitatus.
They did it in New Orleans, yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it's done by the state, they can legally do that.
Here's the question.
But the question is the National Guard going to actually?
Are they going to?
Are they going to? I mean, would the people in the National Guard actually go against their own citizens?
That's the $1 million question.
That's the $1 million question. But I know there's a lot of
there's a lot of law family. It's their own friends and
there's a portion of law enforcement. There's a portion of military that would do exactly what they're told to do. And so you may not have all of them do it, but you might have some of them do it.
All it takes is one. I'll tell you what, with that stuff that happened in New Orleans, that got burned into people's brain where they thought it couldn't happen, and they watched it happen.
It did happen.
They watched it happen. And
remember that video where they attacked that old lady?
Over her little revolver.
Yeah.
It's like, leave the lady alone.
And she didn't even she was just showing that she had it, and they freaking jumped all over her. And you hear the story. You hear the stories of them taking them off the boats, and people going. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. They did it. They did it.
Yeah. And you didn't get them back. If you got them back, they were all mangled and destroyed. And if it was very nice.
I mean, and I've heard stories of them doing, shortly after I moved to Kansas, that was when the Greensburg tornado came through there. And I was only a couple hours away from that. And the stories that you heard locally there of people, them going in and like taking firearms and people going back to their homes that maybe were able to leave. If they didn't get them confiscated, they went back to their homes and their safes are freaking pried open and all their guns were gone. And it took them a long time to actually get those. Well, we took them for safekeeping. When they get them back, they were either missing or they're all busted up into about 4 pieces. That's how they got them back.
They never got them back.
Yeah.
Well, we lost that one.
It's just, so I don't know. I mean, I'm up in the air. I'm like you guys. You don't know what's going to happen, but
no, I know. I know. Like this is different today,
right,
than it was back in 1776 or whatever.
Sure.
But people had to leave their jobs. They had to leave their families and stuff to fight for what they knew was right.
I tell you what,
so
as angry
if
as
it comes down to it, I think people could do it.
Yeah, well,
I'd hate to think that that's going to happen, but
honestly, if anything's going to happen, I think what you're going to have is you're going to have some guy is a long range shooter, and this was pointed out to me, I think by you. This is pointed out by someone on Facebook, another friend of mine. He goes, it probably won't be as big a deal as what we think. It's probably going to be some redneck's going to get irritated. And he's going to have a long range rifle, and he's going to.
It's that second shot heard around the world.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. But they're trying to. They're pushing this. This is their agenda because they're taking these majority red states that are now have a majority voting. You have a couple cities that are overwhelming the vote.
Right.
You have Georgia. You have Virginia, Tennessee. They're pushing these. They're pushing these total gun grabs. They're wanting a reaction, and I don't know. I tell you what. Once some bullets fly and emotions get caught up in it, and as angry as people are. You're going to have some people.
Yeah, and I think Virginia and these states, mostly Virginia, is just a giant testing ground. They're going to see what they can get away with. They're going to see what they can get away with and how they need to do it, and then it's coming for you. If people are just kidding themselves.
Why hasn't President Trump spoken out about this?
I don't know. I haven't heard nothing.
I hadn't heard a word.
Yeah. Get Trump supporters.
I'm a Trump supporter. Why hasn't he spoken out about this?
He has. I haven't heard a word about it.
I hadn't heard a word. It's all impeachment all the time. I'm like, bro, nobody cares about that. No, that's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Let's look at Idaho, too. People think that, we're Idaho. It won't happen in Idaho. I'm sorry. If you don't think there's Bloomberg money not rolling around Idaho, you're sorely mistaken. He's coming. He's coming.
So I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but there is a movie that HBO did a long time ago, back in the 90s. It's called The Second Civil War. And it was about Idaho seceding from the Union. And a lot of it was based on stuff that is happening right now.
Really?
And it's a comedy. I mean, it's not like a serious thing. It had like Dennis Leary. It had like Phil Hartman, some big name guys in it,
I take it we lost then.
Well, it's funny because I watched that, it was on YouTube or something. I looked it up and I watched it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going on right now, But, they were saying that it's going to take that one event.
Yeah.
And one state.
Yeah.
To start things going. And it's going to go from there.
I've also saw an old movie called The Postman with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I did like that movie too.
There you go. There's another book with the Idaho called the Prepper's Guide to Surviving the Apocalypse. You guys ever seen?
No.
It has Idaho in it too, but whatever. But I haven't heard any of this shit on The Simpsons, so I don't think it's really going to happen.
Right. It's funny how stuff comes to fruition there.
But
I don't know. This could get
interesting, and it's like I think I called you earlier.
It could easily kick off into something.
It could.
That gets real, and then as far as Idaho goes, you got everything from our city council to our United States senators getting more and more refugees into Idaho. They don't give a shit about us. They don't care what we want. Right. They don't care about.
Well, it's because they get that vote. That's what they.
That's all they want. That's all they want is the vote.
Getting that yogurt money.
Yeah.
I can talk all about that now.
We know where that's going.
Well, that's what's happening. Big businesses making contributions to these guys. They don't care about us.
Yeah, nobody's going to say anything either because guess who's funding the 4th of July fireworks and stuff?
Oh, exactly.
Of course, nobody's going to say anything.
We want our fireworks, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's we're getting more and more people in here that hate us, and they're voting to get rid of our guns. Of course, they want to get rid of our guns. If I was a burglar or a jihadist, I would want you to not have a gun. That's just the way it is.
It's bad for business.
It's bad for business, man. Can't have that.
So I tell you what, I called you earlier this week or texted you, and I was like, what are we going to talk about on the podcast? We need to touch on just like the third week in a row we're talking about Virginia. And
Virginia's big news,
It's
man.
big. It's big news, and I know that people like to hear about it, but I think a lot of people too want to hear kind of the more. I've heard people say that they want a little bit of training stuff. They want a little bit of the common sense gun shooting fundamentals stuff as well. So I got
get a canic.
Get a canic. So I've got something I'm going to throw out there. So I went to the range a few times this week, and I found some new drills, some new stuff I'm trying to do. Maybe be able to put a class together this spring. But I just want to encourage everyone: go out and shoot. Go out and shoot your gun. I've hit on this before. There's so many people that don't go out and shoot their firearm. Okay, I shot pretty decent on my drills. I could use a little work, tighten some things up. Okay, I was there by myself. No one saw me flinch, right? But I flinched. I can work on my flinch. I can tighten my groups up. No one saw that. Third, fourth day into shooting, my gun. Hence the reason why you smell Hoppy's number 9 in here. My gun started fouling up. Started malfunctioning.
What kind of gun is that?
No.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
I didn't clean it for a year.
Well,
okay.
So,
but what I'm saying is,
I think it's perfection.
I know it is a good gun. But what I'm saying is, you want to find that kind of stuff out on the range. That's why we go. That's why we go and we shoot. You want to find your deficiencies and you want to improve. You want to get proficient at this. You want to find out if your gun is going to run or it's not going to run.
So if you did flinch, how many times have you dry fire practiced?
I've dry fire practiced a lot. Actually, after I went to the range, I came home and put on the Mantis and did a bunch of dry fire. But I was working on a different trigger press thing. But I did flinch, and flinches happen.
They do.
You flinch.
I do.
You flinch. I flinch.
I hate it. I hate it when I do it, and I get so mad at myself when I do it. But everyone's got to come to terms that it's something I need to work on.
I mean, and you just got to go out and you got to put more rounds down range. I was working on this drill where it's kind of cool. You have like five little dots. You saw the targets.
Yep.
I think you maybe saw them on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And you put 3 shots in each target. Good Lord. The buyer real 1911. That's the guy with the Magnum PI fetish. And you concentrate each row. You're concentrating on a different fundamental. So the top row, obviously you're using the sights and stuff, but you're concentrating on your grip. You're concentrating on holding it correctly. You're concentrating on the forcing the gun out, holding it steady, that kind of thing. Second one, you're concentrating on the sights, but you're concentrating on just focusing on that front sight. Focus on that front sight. Get a clear front sight picture. Second level, you're focusing on a clear target picture. Everything else kind of blurry, and you just kind of are really focusing in. It actually is kind of cool because it kind of works you up to where you need to be, and you just kind of do it over and over and over again. And I found I get to a certain point and I was flinching. I improved day after day. I got a little bit better and a little bit better, but you're not going to know that unless you go out and shoot every day. You need to go out and shoot.
And then when you do go out and shoot and you miss the target all the time, it's because you're not practicing enough.
And when I say go out and shoot, I'm not talking about freaking mag dump. Okay, I'm not talking about you go out with 100 rounds and you're done in 10 minutes.
Man, come on.
That's not the way it works.
No, you shouldn't shoot like that. No.
I mean, and that's fun, and I don't mind shooting like that every now and then. But I mean, you spent money on that ammo, right? I mean, obviously you need to make sure your firearm's going to run and is going to run through rounds quickly without malfunctioning.
Definitely be proficient with your firearm.
But go out and practice. That's my 2 cents.
It's the number 1 rule.
I threw that out there.
Not only that, you should start with a Mantis. I tell you what.
Mantises are cool.
You want a kid it's cheap too. You want a kid for the training you get out of it, man, you can't beat it for the price. But you want a kid to be good at basketball, what do? You give him a basketball. Tell him, keep that in your hands at all times. You want a kid to be good at football, you give him a football. Never let me see you without it. Keep it. Spend time with it. Same thing with a Mantis. Do a lot of that. Looks crazy. It's your big old phone in the camera.
It does, doesn't it?
Spend some time. Spend some time with it. Unload it. Just doing drills and doing dry fires and stuff like that. It will help a lot. And then you won't. Ammo's cheap, but still.
So
Mantis is cheaper.
I put up a list of. Did you? I know you're not because you're not on social media. But did you see the big list that I put up? The stuff I did in my living room.
I read just a little
kind of the strengthening type stuff.
But yeah,
so
I read some of it.
So dogs are there. The dogs were my audience. Everyone else was gone, and I went ahead, unloaded my gun, made sure there's no ammo in the room. Triple, quadruple check my firearm. I put the Mantis on. I hung a target up on the wall. Okay. And what I did is I was working on different biomechanics and focusing on what they call the neuromuscular efficiency, neuromuscular timing. So what I would do is everyone's done a step forward lunge or a step back lunge. I do 10 on the right, 10 on the left, in the front, and then on the back. And as I'm doing it, I'm holding the firearm
with the Mantis or not?
With the Mantis.
So it's timed.
It's timed. Okay. It's you're trying to time like when you're stepping forward. Pushing that firearm out, and right when your knee touches the ground, be on the target and dry fire. And the Mantis is really cool because I can sit there and dry fire all day and get 90, 98, 90, whatever. But when you start adding that in, I'll be honest with you, I was in the 60s, 70s.
What?
I mean, you're moving, you're adding a lot more movement to it. But as you do it more, you're getting better and better. And it's all about the timing and the muscle memory. That's all it is. And you know what? It's a hell of a workout too. You get done, you're freaking hammies, man. They hurt if you're doing it right. But it helps you though get down and have your balance. When you hit the ground, you're ready to go. And there's more I'm going to get into possibly next week, and I'll post it up there. And I don't expect anyone to go out and run out and do exactly what I'm doing, but I just like to show people what I'm doing because it helps. It really, and there's a what did freaking James?
Sorry, got a little distracted with that one.
But I mean, there's a lot you can do at home too. You don't have to go to the range. You don't have to have the Mantis to do that drill. You can do it just dry fire. I like the Mantis because it shows you where you're hitting. You don't need it, but it helps. You can get so much more out of that for $150. Yep. You can get a lot out of it, and then when you use live fire, then you've eliminated you'll waste $150 easy one time getting you to where the Mantis will get you for a one-time purchase. And then you can go back and do different drills, and they're always updating it.
And I'll tell you, if you don't have a Mantis and you're out on the range and you're shooting live fire, get yourself some snap caps. And just throw one randomly in the mag. Right in the middle, or don't even count. Just
It'll
put one
show
in.
you where you're flinching,
and you'll know right away. Like when you have that dummy round in there, you'll know what's going on with your, with your grip or with your trigger pull or anything.
Shooting like Cagney.
You're going to be, next thing you know, you fire, and then click, and your gun is pointing at the ground.
Right.
You're going to know if you flinch right away.
Yep.
And that's the trick that I hate to say it, but we embarrass a lot of people.
We did that
here.
We did that in one of our classes.
Yeah, in one of our classes, and it's embarrassing when it happens to you. You did it. You didn't do it to me, but I flinched when you were standing right next to me once, and
it happens.
I was so mad at myself for it,
and you can practice mag changes in your living room too. You don't have to have a loaded mag to do it. You can just practice changing it, see how smooth you can get it. Snap caps on a mag changes work great. I know out here we had a class, and what we'd do is we'd have each student load the other. They didn't know how many rounds were in it, and they had to do a mag change, and they didn't know if they're going to shoot 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 7 rounds, or one round, and they'd have to freaking do a mag change, and it was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Some of them were good at it. Some of them there was a look of total shock on their face. Oh, what the hell?
What do I do? Yeah. So, and if you don't have a target to hang on your wall to practice, I say the corner of the room is usually the best place, like where the ceiling and the walls come together.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to focus on.
You can do that. If you want a target, though, there's plenty of free ones.
There's lots of free ones.
Or you can just do it while you watch The View.
Yeah. There's
lots of targets there. I shouldn't say that. That's wrong.
So until then, you guys all ready for Christmas then? Because we won't be... Unless I go on do you got another story?
Cash.
I got a couple of them.
But no. What do we? I forgot you had them because I didn't print them off, so I forgot you had them.
Ho ho ho.
It's
ho ho ho.
Jingle bells and
it's nothing good. I don't know. I didn't know that I was even going to get into it.
Don't shoot Santa Claus when he comes down your chimney.
It's a personal irritation of mine.
Ooh,
like
these are the good.
I like these.
These are the good stories.
Well, it's not really, and I don't want to come. What I don't want to do is get into a bashing session because that's not what it is. But
I do.
Law enforcement. Now, they have if you talk to any good law enforcement, they'll tell you how to answer questions and get through the polygraph and all this other stuff, the psychological exam, blah blah blah. They keep lowering standards and. For God's sakes, people, for God's sakes. I'm just going to give you the headlines, a couple of them, because like I said, I'm not trying to get into a bashing session. Daily Mail, both stories. Sheriff's Deputy 29 scoured online obituaries to break into homes of grieving families. This is the Wisconsin Sheriff's Department. Come on, man. People are beaten. Come on, stop with these psychological exams.
Got some bad cheese up there.
Texas cop organized brutal killing of his pregnant girlfriend because she refused. Now, I'm not digging these up. I'm not looking for these, right? This is the Daily Mail. Refused to abort their baby. Pleads guilty to murder. Will spend life in prison. God, stop with these. You know, it's just a thing that irritates me. If this person has a bachelor's degree, that does not mean they're good law enforcement. It does not. If they pass a psychological exam, come on, man. You know how to lie on that stuff. You know, with a polygraph. Come on, stop it. There's ways to answer where you're not. Come on, everybody knows that. So it just irritates me with this screening that they have in right now, and they're lowering standards for everything. They're dropping standards for the military. It's annoying.
Scary. You had another one about flags, didn't you?
Oh, where was that at? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. How did you remember that? Like I said, though, I wanted to say that just because of that, but I'm not trying to get into a bad session.
And you might as well make this into that segment that James likes.
Yeah. You know what pisses me?
We had a voice. He recorded that, and I freaking erased it.
It's I can find it. You know what? I was looking at the simunitions rounds, and they are amazing. The proficiency people are getting with live fire in real combat situations. It's amazing.
I got about $3,000 worth of stuff tucked away in that closet.
Yeah, it's shocking that what was that? New York PD put out a report on it. Now, of course, I can't find this thing where their officers got like, I don't even remember. It was like 60% more efficient with 1/3 of the rounds. It was amazing. That is quite the progress. Okay.
You find it?
I can't find it, but I remember.
Oh, well, go for it. You sent it to me, I thought, but I don't see it now.
I should be able to see this dude's face.
Just
oh, man, we'll be here all day looking for that.
Here, it's up.
Okay. Oh, it was Iowa. Man, we have gone insane. Now this pisses me off. An Iowa man is sentenced to 16 years. Yes. 16 years in prison.
Dun, dun, dun.
For setting an LGBTQ flag on fire.
So you can torch the American flag and nothing, but you
burn
set one of them things on fire.
You can spit on it.
Good Lord, that's a hate crime.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this was in Iowa. An Ames man was sentenced Wednesday to about I don't know what that's supposed to mean. About 16 years in prison after he set fire to a church's LGBTQ flag in June. Don't go to that church, first of all. They're calling it a hate crime. So this is where we're going. You know, we just want equality. We just want to get married. No, it's always more. It's always more.
So
that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, what
are we coming to in this country? I mean, you can burn the American flag. You can spit on the American flag. You better be careful who you do it around. But you burn a LGBTQ flag, 16 years. He could have killed a person and got less time.
That's the way the world is. The world is turning. Okay. Anything else?
No. I think that's about it.
Mr. Mark, you got anything else?
I'm kind of stumbling and bumbling. I'm feeling a little.
Just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. And,
Merry Christmas. And
remember the reason for the season. You get all this chaos. You get all these packages and presents and all this nonsense. Remember what we're celebrating here. Remember what we're looking. This is a national holiday for a reason.
Exactly.
I mean, unto us what? A son was given. Unto us a Savior was born. Think about it for a minute. Just take a few minutes and think about it. It's not about the packages and stuff.
And you know what? Take time to take this time to spend time with your families. I mean, shut the TV off, shut the freaking news off, shut the stuff off, and just relax a little bit. You know, hang out with your family, spend time with the ones that you love.
Listen to the podcast before or after Christmas.
On the trip down and the trip back.
Yeah, but not at Christmas.
Make it a family
podcast. I don't know.
Force them to listen to it.
But yeah, no, we appreciate it. We've been doing this now for how many years? We've been doing this 2, 3 years.
Has it been years?
2, 3, maybe.
It's been I think it's been like
3.
3 years.
Yeah, it's probably 3 years.
We've been doing this for 3 years, and our numbers are starting to climb a little bit, and I appreciate that. And I'm so thankful for these guys taking time out of their own lives to show up and do this.
I'm missing the Boise State Bowl game right now for this. So.
And yeah, I don't care. No, I appreciate you guys coming over and doing this. I mean, none of us are pulling paychecks off this. We do it because we enjoy doing it, I hope.
I do.
And when
I get to.
I appreciate all the listeners, and share it, subscribe it with your friends, and give us a call, shoot me a text. Area code 620-794-6223. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, all the good ones. You guys have a Merry Christmas. We should be back next week, and I'll tell you what, it is Christmas.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna play you out, and I can't remember the one that we actually decided on, but we're gonna go ahead.
The last one, whatever the last one was.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Let us know, or we wish you.
I just start.
Let us know.
Play them all together.
Merry Christmas.